Hello everybody, hi guys. We are here today with Simone and Matt. Hi Matt, thank you for joining us.
Hello. Pleasure to be here.
As always, please let us know if you can hear us, if you can see us properly. Um, so we know that everything is all right. And thank you guys for being here already. You're always very punctual. So that's a plus. Hi Seth, hi Elio, hi Andrew, Fabrizio, Grelo, Marcus. Hi everybody. So today we are here to talk a little bit with Matt about the assistant director, a new kind of supplement that you will find in the next Outgunned adventure campaign starting 29th of May on Backerkit. And at the end of this live stream, we are also going to reveal the third and last, at least until the campaign starts. Yeah, the last action flicks. So, first of all, as I said, Matt, thank you very much for being here with us.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Yeah. I'm Matt Kay. I have been into tabletop role playing since the 90s when I first played the West End Games Star Wars dice pool game as a teenager. And yeah, I've basically been role playing more or less ever since. Did have a bit of a break like a lot of people did in their 20s. But yeah, I've been back very, very strong for about the last 15 years or so. And at some point, I started getting into game design as well as just playing and running lots of games, and really got hooked on Free League's games when they released Mutant Year Zero in English. Mainly because I'm just a big dice pool junkie at heart, I guess. And that's obviously something very similar here with the system we have in Outgunned, is that it's a dice pool system, and for me, there's just a lot to like about it. So I was really excited to get involved with both of you, and yeah, I guess I don't know how much more you want to say about myself. I've also done a bit of oh god, I hate to use the term. I've been on a podcast. I co-ran the Mud and Blood podcast for a few years, and then I moved to YouTube, and I had a YouTube channel. I still have a YouTube channel, which is as you can see up here on the screen. I don't know which way to point, at Three Skulls. But just to help focus on this Outgunned project, I've put the channel on hiatus. So if you do follow me or subscribe to me on that channel, you won't see any for a little while, because I'm going to have my head down producing a really the best book I can for you guys. So yeah, that's basically me. I've also worked on some pretty big projects. I was the writer of the solo chapter for the Walking Dead RPG. I wrote the official solo rules for Forbidden Land. And I've also written my own sort of rules light game called Year Zero Mini, which is I'm pretty proud to say is a gold bestseller on DriveThru RPG, which doesn't really mean a lot, but when you're in this hobby, it does mean a lot. And yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell. I've got lots of projects on on various burners, like all of us probably do. But this is my focus right now.
And we introduced that Matt was going to work with us on Outgunned Adventure during last live stream, and as we said last week, we are thrilled to have you here, Matt, and we have worked quite a few hours together already, and it's been a pleasure. I'm sure people will be happy with the result, as you know, and as yeah, this is the first time for us introducing a new designer on the Outgunned line. We had a very good experience with Adventures in the Household with Jacob Rogers. We are growing, we are expanding, so naturally, hopefully there will be many, cool collaboration. And as you know, Matt is going to be the designer and the author of this little supplement that you can see on the right, which is called the Assistant Director. And Matt, do you want to introduce us a little bit about this module?
Sure. So one of the things I kind of first did when I got my hands on the PDF of Outgunned was I got a group together and ran a campaign. So I've run the World of World of Killers campaign, Family Business, with 3 players, and I then started thinking about all the other types of campaigns that I could run, because with the Action Flicks book especially, there's, as all of your fans will know, there's just tons and tons of possibilities. And yeah, there is guidance in the core rulebook, but I have a ton of role playing books. I've written some stuff myself. I've written for solo rules. Often one of the things you're doing is you're writing like generators for plots. That's very important for solo play. And it's not just for solo play. Obviously, if you're a GM and you want to get some inspiration, or you don't have an existing idea, adventure generators are a really good place to go to basically get the inspiration flowing, or even to really flesh out the entire framework for a campaign. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing here. Is I'm going to be coming up with the various tables and tools and guidelines for GMs or directors, I should say, to be able to basically put together the bones of a campaign, and then also guide them through how to kind of structure the various shots that go into the campaign, and expand a little bit on the existing rules that are in place in the core rule book. Like heat, for example. There's some things we can do with heat that can kind of play into the structure of a campaign. So just little things like that are basically going to hopefully get people to more easily put together something that feels like an Outgunned campaign. And I think the important thing to talk about here is there's a bit of a challenge for me, because most adventure generators I see are built for sandbox play. They are designed to basically just have this big open playground, and you're kind of like generating little elements for it, but then you're kind of expected to let the players loose in it, and they kind of generate the story themselves. And obviously with Outgunned, that's not really how the game is set up. The game is set up for you to basically have an experience like you're in an action film. So you've got these set pieces, you've got action that never stops, and therefore the structure for a campaign is different to anything I've really come across with other adventure generators. So that's, for me, that's a really exciting design challenge, is coming up with something a bit more structured than people might normally expect to see from something like adventure generators they might have seen in other games. So yeah, that for me is what I'm doing. That's what I'm putting together. I guess the other important thing to mention is that this is not just for the Outgunned core rulebook. I'm also going to be coming up with similar sort of guidelines for Outgunned adventures as well. So we're going to have 2 kind of different frameworks that are very related to each other, but they're going to be tailored for the 2 different basically types of 2 different games, the 2 different products.
That's also a small challenge, basic
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that our approach with Outgunned has always been, as you know, these are not rules, these are tools, and we try every time to give you new tools to build your adventure, your mission, your campaign, your shot, whatever. And what Matt is doing, and up until now he's doing it incredibly well, but you'll see for yourself, he's trying to organize, the toolbox. Is trying to give you instructions. So it's going to be our IKEA, manual. For it is really giving a good framework to all these tools, so that you might have a little bit more of a guide. And if you have ever been on a real set, for movies, television, that kind of stuff, that the assistant director actually does the heavy job, does the heavy lifting for the director.
Yes.
Me, I've
No
been,
pressure.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
idea also behind this title is that this will will make your life a lot easier. And this is something that people have been asking, I would say, a lot. I would say that people are constantly asking for it, because life is busy, and we're not getting any younger. We have a lot of stuff to do. We don't always have time to read and prepare, and I think the assistant director will do wonders to people who want to start playing right away. They need something
Yeah.
that it's not, not a pre-made adventure, but a framework for their adventures.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have some questions from the. Okay, Seth asking, can we possibly get solo play routes for Outgunned? We can. I don't know if we will, but it's when Metra is around, it's definitely a possibility, I would say. But um, this is not what the assistant director is designed for, I would say. As Matt was saying, there is a difference between. This is not something that we've talked about a lot, but there is a huge difference between what's a mission in Outgunned and what's going to be an adventure, treasure hunting in Outgunned adventure. So you will have two different structures in the in the books. So basically, your mission, about your mission in Outgunned. You are trying to stop the villain. Basically, you want to save the day, you want to get the prize or whatever. In Outgunned adventure, of course, you will be looking for a treasure against some evildoers who wants to take the treasure for themselves, or against some kind of supernatural threat, who needs the treasure to rise again, like the mummy. So yes, Matt is going to have to do, an extra shift. It's a double work for him, because you are going to find the assistant director's suggestion, random charts, hooks or whatever for the mission side of Outgunned and for the adventure side of Outgunned. So either way, you are covered.
Yeah.
So yes.
I think maybe the big thing to also say is that a lot of what I'm doing is building on what's in the core rulebook. So you guys have already come up with things like campaign moments where you've got that turning point in the showdown. So you've already kind of given a lot of guidance on how to run a campaign. And this is just basically filling in the blanks, right? This is expanding on that, adding a bit more and giving the kind of the practicalities that are needed. And in addition to that, there's also a little bit more in terms of campaign setup that I'm also fleshing out, because I think that's also a really important step, is to, if you want to run a cinematic campaign, you really need to think about the elements that could go in at the top level for it when you start getting down into the, the individual sessions or shots that make it up. So there's, just to give people an idea, it's not just going to be a bunch of random tables. It is going to be quite a bit around helping you build the framework for a campaign. And the focus is very much going to be on campaign as well, rather than on like one shots. That's probably also worth mentioning, because I think coming up with a one shot is, from my perspective, if you've been a game master or director for a while, coming up with a one shot is a pretty easy thing to do. There are also lots of available ones anyway for the game to give it a try. So the focus is very much on campaign play.
Yeah, because as Matt was saying at the beginning of this live, of course, Outgunned wants to let you play a movie, and movies are really, straightforward. They have an arc, they have more than one arc, but basically you are following a plot line, and you got to stay, close to the plot. We never look at Indiana Jones, or Jason Bourne, going shopping or having a meal at the tavern. We are not playing in a sandbox right here. So what Matt is doing is try to give you the framework to have all the right moments, in your campaign. So he's giving structure to every shot, like we have done with the plot twist and the showdown. He's giving a framework to each of the 6 or 7 or 8 shots, whatever that you might need for your campaign. So yeah, I think you'll find this pretty helpful. They're asking if this is going to be similar to Luck Tales. No, I believe it's completely different things. We have done this for Broken Compass, a module that was called Luck Tales, and has all kind of different suggestions, like chapter on failing, chapter on on traveling. No, this is much more focused and much more I want to say dense. I don't know if that's right word in English, but it's it's compressed. There's a lot of like really. Black Tales was very discursive book. There was a lot of vague suggestion. This is actual, you know,
It's like a workbook
Yeah.
almost, isn't it?
Yeah.
This
Yes.
one, rather, yeah, it sounds like Luck Tales might have been more like an expansion on the various like mechanics of Broken Compass, maybe.
yeah, it was, but it was more like because it was different authors, and each of
Ah.
these
There
authors
were
kind of, yeah.
the different authors that just try to bring, his view, his philosophy.
Okay. It's like essays around it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
very philosophical, I would say. This is more, useful tools, mechanic. This is like, building blocks. It's
Yeah.
um,
I wanted to mention one thing that was mentioned on Discord as well, very quickly. Someone asked about having heists in this, like a heist generator, and there won't be a heist. There's no plans, at least, to put a heist generator in there. Yeah.
but yeah, we
So just want to.
If you want to receive the
like, oh man, that would be
some points,
yeah.
we have to draw a line
Yeah, yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. And that would be another fun challenge too, because I've actually never run a heist ever before. So that would be kind of an interesting thing to experience. But yeah, in case people are wondering about that, because I know heists are part of the Outgunned rule book, but they won't be covered in this assistant director.
I think that now that we have this idea of the genre book that we are introducing with Outgunned Adventure, it's totally possible that we do something about heist in the future. So
Yeah.
it's also good to keep something, for.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a really good point. Actually, if people want to see that, they should definitely be commenting for something in the future. Because I think heist, like a book devoted to heist would be a cool idea with something like an adventure generator sort of thing for it. Yeah, that sounds cool. But not here, not right now.
Yeah, and we are doing a lot of conversations, with Matt about cinema and game design. So it's always a fun talk. Trying to take we are basically taking a medium and bringing it into another medium. So you want to respect all the things that you find in movies. So it would be cool to do it with the heist, because the heist is very, very coded.
It has the very precise moment that has to happen at some point in the movie. It's very, it's a subgenre. Like all the subgenre is very precise. You're watching an heist when you saw that 3, 4, 5 key moments.
I see there is love in the chat for the assistant director. I'm glad that you like the idea, because as you know, we are always struggling with the pre-made adventures, pre-made campaign, because some people need them, some people hate them. It's something that I believe I don't know, Matt, about your experience, but I think nothing divides role players as much as pre-made adventures, pre-made character, because the people who rely on them, who almost actually only play pre-made adventure, and people who will never play a pre-made adventure because it takes away part of the fun. So
yeah. I do a lot of solo games which are never pre-made. I mean, you can't do like game books and things. So the way I like to do stuff is to do this sort of improv running of games. Also, when I'm a game master or director, so this kind of naturally sits pretty well within my preferences for play as well. Coming up with tools to help people do that exact thing. And I think it works really well with the action flicks as well, because the action flicks are basically like little bits of inspiration for taking these rules and doing it with a very in a very specific kind of subgenre. But then there's kind of just the seeds of an idea and the character elements mostly, plus a few little rules tweaks. But then doing the rest of it kind of it's going to be interesting. I think it's gonna really work well for people who don't want to just do this sort of Jason Bourne or Mission Impossible style stuff, or of course World of Killers. We've got the John Wick style kind of action genre games. if they want to do something a little bit different, then they're gonna be the directors who are already gonna be happy to get their fingers into the mechanics of the game, tinker around a little bit, and this is gonna be exactly the sort of tools I hope that they're gonna find useful.
And also,
because that's the real strength of this game of Outgunned, is that it's not just a bunch of, published adventure after published adventure. Your big expansion was World of Killers, which is like an entire subgenre with a little campaign attached, but then also action flicks, which was, for me, was really amazing because it kind of like opened the door to, well, yeah, we've made this game and it's for the action film genre, but actually it can be so much more. And yeah, really cool. Really gets the juices flowing.
The idea behind Outgunned was always, of course, we've started with action, because right now action, well, it's always been kind of a hot genre, and also a big container, for adventure, for sci-fi, for horror, and basically everything that's also for family right now is action, because we have superheroes, actions, that we have
this action comedy are the what the big studios are going on about right now. Is a big chunk of movies that you see are action comedies, action something, but action is is a unifier, common unifier.
And also the cinema itself was made for action, because it's the medium of being fast moving. It's the only, of course, moving things that you can have. It's on video, of course, so it makes sense to start with action, but the idea is that you can go to the theater, watch a movie, and then go back home and have this this cool idea, maybe we should play it, maybe we should, and you, with the action flick and the Outgunned, the core books, and now with the assistant director, you can go home and play and expand your cinematic experience at all. And I think the assistant director will even help you change the way you see movie a little bit. Of course, it's not an essay on cinema, but
when you know a little bit better what are these key moments, how to build a story, how to run towards the end of the mission, towards the treasure. Yes, I think probably you can start seeing movies on. Okay, I know why this scene is here. I understand why this villain was presented right now and not before, not after that, and so on and so forth.
So, very good, very excited, Matt, about this collaboration, and we'll see. Now I think that we have hyped them up a little bit, so no pressure, as always.
Don't forget to hit the like button, people.
Yeah. So I'd say we've been live for almost half an hour. So
and
I
it's
think
time to delve into the second part of our live stream today, meaning it's time to reveal the third flicks that you will find from the last flicks you will find from day one inside Action Flick Volume 2. Note that not even Matt knows what what this flicks is, so it will be a surprise for him as well. Surprise.
Will be revealed live for Matt as well. So up until now, I'm going to cover your face a little bit, Matt. Sorry for that, but
no problem.
The graphic is was right there. First of all, we revealed Star Knight. Star Knight is a flick inspired, of course, by Star Wars, and for me, especially by the video game saga Jedi Fallen Order / Jedi Survivor. And it's a flick that will give you the power. So will allow you to use the power to defeat the forces of darkness, or to join the darkness. Hi Cat, talking about darkness, Cat is here. Then we revealed our second action flick, which was Wild.
And the first the main fan favorite, the real fan favorite, which was Wild West.
This is how I have to.
And I can't.
And Wild West, We've said it before, I'll say it again. It's the flick that we don't want to do, but you always want the West, so we are doing this just for you. As I said last time, we had a cool idea on how to manage showdowns, quick draw in this new action flick Wild West, and hopefully we will reveal something very soon. Maybe during the Outgunned campaign, we can make a little live playtest, because it's a very cool little mechanics that I think some of you will be able to apply to different kind of contexts. I know the cat has stolen all the spotlight at the moment, but she's very, because we have been away to Modena Play, we've been at a convention this week, so she was alone too much. And the third action flick, and this is the last action flick, so action flick will come with just action flick volume 2 with just 3 flicks, and all the other one are going to be stretch goal, but I'm sure you will have they're not going to be a problem for you. Sorry, it's getting harder. The third action flick is Dark Light. So let there be Dark Light. So I'll give the chat a minute, because I know there is a little bit of lag.
This is a curious flicks as a third. Someone, not many people gasp something similar. It's kind of I don't know how to call it, a broader flick to our Midnight Wars from Action Flick Volume 1. Midnight Wars puts you in the shoes of a vampire or a werewolf into this eternal war. Dark Light take the same concept, the same ideas, and probably share the same setting if you want to complicate things like many movies or series does, but lets you play as a demon or an angel being and battling on Earth during this, of course, another eternal war between different forces. And it is inspired, of course, by our and fan favorite Good Omens series, which has two wonderful example of a demon and a angel being on Earth, living wonderful adventure, but also Constantine, of course, and Dogma and Ghost Rider, because we believe it's very, very on point with what you will find inside, in particular with the new role you will find inside this flick.
Very cool. Just from my perspective, I wasn't expecting this. The one action flick I was most interested in was Midnight Wars, because I'm a huge Hellboy fan, but I'm not a big fan of GURPS or 5th edition D&D. So this kind of ties a little bit. I mean, you could use either one probably for Hellboy, but yeah, very cool. Very cool. Isn't there a new Constantine movie coming out too, or in the works?
Should be.
It should be. They talked about it from a long time. It was the struggle with the screenwriter, of course, that slowed things down, I think. But yes, they are working on it.
Yeah, cool.
I have to say that despite being a fan of the Hellblazer comic book, I also enjoyed the movie. I have to say there's nothing like the comics. If you haven't read,
but it's pretty good.
But it's a good movie. It was good flick. People know I'm a sucker for
another chance to play Nicolas Cage character. That's exactly our end game here.
Oh my god.
Give you the chance to play every Nicolas Cage character ever, which is very difficult.
It's hard. And yeah, I'm a sucker for all that kind of World of Darkness, vampires, werewolf, angel, demons, hunters, all that kind of stuff. Hellboy, of course, huge fan of that. So it's always a pleasure. This not unlike the Wild West. This is something that we really dig. And after the surprisingly good first season of Good Omens on Amazon Prime. We had to do something like, Angel versus Demons, or Angels and Demons, which is a lot more fun if you ask me. So yes, this
talking about Devil May Cry and Bayonetta video game series, which also heavily revolves around demon angels and all sorts of way you have to look at a demon or angel in every possible manifestation. But yes, I'm feeling it's much appreciated, this new flick.
And this flick, of course, will give you rules to play as an angel, to play as a demon, similarly to what we did in Midnight Wars, but also to have, angelic or demonic enemies in your game, and will also give you a new role that you can see pictured here, which is the emissary, which is something that, someone who was sent out by
a greater force that could be in either direction. Let's say.
So it's going to be an extremely weird, smooth based role that you can use for Outgunned. And by the way, always, this is a very lovely, almost like, a female Crowley from Good Omen done by Daniela. So it's always an impressive work. Yeah, I hope you like this third flick, and you will see that hopefully we can unlock many more during the campaign. We have something, we'll have something already, from day one in the stretch goals, and we'll probably reveal it, I don't know, on Monday, on Friday.
Or next, we will do another live on Friday, I think.
We will be live on Friday. We will be live on...
And then next week, we for sure have the pre-launch, our usual pre-launch live on Wednesday, I think. And probably another one on Monday if we have someone to share. Who knows? Let's see. But yes, we will probably reveal in advance the first locked flicks, so you can know where we are going. But we have really more than one very cool ideas. I really do hope we can. I can't wait to share it with you also. Let's see what will happen. Starting next week is exactly 1 week from now, the launch of the campaign.
Wow, time does fly. So I think that covers everything for today.
Yes.
Thank you, all of you guys, for being here with us as always, for following us, for bearing with our Italian accents as always. Thank you, Matt, for introducing us to your assistant director.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see you on Friday, where we are going to reveal all the different pledge levels and all the add-ons that you will find in this campaign. So if you missed the first Outgunned, if you need something from the first Outgunned Kickstarter, we'll finally reveal what you can find in this campaign. But I think you're going to be happy. As always, it's a struggle to do this kind of campaign with all the stuff that we have. We have an infinite list of add-ons and pledge levels, but we'll manage. So thank you guys, and we'll see you on Friday. Bye.
Bye.